So let's look at a couple of things today. I got a question about how to do folds in clothing. So let's see what first Andrew Loomis says about folds in clothing. And he has 2 pages in Fun with a Pencil. One is called the suit, and the other is called the dress, because back in the old days, that's what men wore, was suits, and women wore dresses. So let's take a look at how he breaks it down. And he says that to do a man's suit from the front or the side even, in the back, you use a ball, which you see there in the dotted line, and a square here, and a triangle here. And that's the foundation for drawing the coat over the body. And when you do the side, you flatten the ball for a 3/4. You kind of flatten the ball at the back and cut down in the front. When you do pants, trousers, he says that's easy, but remember the folds radiate from the joints. So like there's the pants straight, but as the guy leans forward and then leans back, you see that the folds come from the joints and there's crinkles on the opposite side. So here's the knee, and you draw a line here and a line here, because that's gravity taking the fold down, and this is kind of tension going from the posterior to the knee. So there's a line there. Then there's smaller folds in between. Then as he sits down, there's the knee, here's the posterior. You see a line going from there to the knee, and a line from the knee back to the calf, down here to the ankle. Then, when he does the arm, kind of hard to see. Well, the way he does the arm is that he's got the upper arm here and the forearm here. There's fold in the middle, and wrinkles radiate out from the elbow. In this one, here's the elbow. The fold comes from the elbow down and up. There's one that goes down the forearm, a smaller one on the forearm, a major one on the upper arm. From the back, you see here's the elbow. There's wrinkles around the inside the elbow, wrinkles that describe the roundness and volume of the arm, tension folds that come from the back as the arm comes up to the top of the bicep. And then when you're looking in the front, the arm is raised up, the arm coming towards us. There's wrinkles in the middle and smaller folds to indicate tension coming from the chest area to the bicep. So for the dress, he shows us a woman standing up. She has her right knee up, so there's folds coming down, and from here, from the hip down to the knee, there's a fold, and then smaller folds across the pelvis, and some smaller folds here under the arm and from the chest. Then as the figure sits down, posterior knees, smaller folds here, tension folds here, wrinkles, tension wrinkles here at the pelvis where the figure is sitting, smaller tension wrinkles under the chest. From the back, we see smaller tension wrinkles here from the waist. From the posterior here down to the opposite knee. Well, this is the back of the knee here and down. And this is all cloth. So you have to keep that in mind. You're dealing with cloth. Then as the figure leans forward, there's smaller wrinkles underneath the chest, wrinkles here across, and then one from the top of the pelvis, the bottom of the pelvis to the knee, because the leg is raised up, This leg is straight down, so there's tension wrinkles going from one knee to the other. Wearing a big coat, there's folds, wrinkles in the back. That's drapery, that's a whole nother thing. The heavyset woman here, we see wrinkles going down the chest. She has her arm raised up, so there's smaller wrinkles going up from the waist and through the sleeve. There's wrinkles here describing the roundness, and then wrinkles here describing the leg. There's the knee, so there's a small wrinkle from there to the back of the calf, from the knee down to the front of the calf. It's a whole science looking at how to do wrinkles in clothing. Now let's see how another artist handles it. The Jack Hamm book, Drawing the Head and Figure, and I think I've gone over this one before. And here's a couple pages about how to do folds and his explanation about it. It's like there's the knee, so there's smaller wrinkles emanating from the knee, from the elbow, from the shoulder, from the top of the back. Folds from body indentations, various types of folds, as you see. So there's a woman sitting down wearing this dress or jacket over a dress. You see these small wrinkles here because she's leaning forward a bit. Wrinkles around her arm to show the volume of her arm. Wrinkles and folds emanating from her shoulder down, here in the elbow area, here from the top of the arm to the elbow, back of the elbow there. There's a lot to study. When you go out, take your sketchbook. For this page, he says the female figure in clothing, always draw the figure first and then drape the clothing on top. That's how I do drawing. Whenever I'm doing life drawing for a costume figure, I always draw the figure first and then drape the clothing over it. So there's some serious pages in here about drawing figures and clothing that you need to study. You should be able to get this book pretty inexpensively. Here he is drawing the figure using cylinders, and then he puts clothing on top of it. It's the easiest way to do it. The male figure, again, start with drawing the figure and then put clothing on top. Different ways to handle it, different shading, different ways for the clothing to drape the human figure. He's got his hands in his pockets, which pushes the jacket up. Suggestions for drawing the male attire. Guy just standing there, things just fall. As soon as he takes a pose, now he's pushing his jacket back, he lifts his arm up, he leans over to the side. Things happen with the clothing when you do that. Here's how to draw sleeves, the folds in the sleeves, as you raise your arm up. So here, the arm is just straight down. As it goes up, you see folds and wrinkles come from tension. Tension is the shoulder, so we get small wrinkles and folds at the top near the shoulder. You get some slight ones at the elbows, top of the elbow, and here where the sleeve is kind of falling down, so this clothing is falling on itself, and that's why that looks like that. There's the arm bent down here. And you see the wrinkles and folds that come from that. Here's a guy sitting. We get a whole different set of wrinkles and folds looking at that. Here's the easy way to do wrinkles and folds. This is the cheat sheet, I guess, how to do it easier. You make a loop where there's going to be a bend or tension, and that's the shortcut way to do your wrinkles and folds, a curve or a loop. Too much here. Simplify it down here. Makes it a lot easier. Don't have so much noise. You're looking at something here going, what is this, a tiger or zebra? No, simplify it down. It'll be a lot easier for you. So that's in the drawing the head and figure. His other book that I have, cartooning the head and figure. So this one is pure cartooning, exaggeration, caricature. And here he does a page, cartoon clothing and folds. Easy way to do it, because cartooning for newspaper comic strips, webtoons, animation, is simplifying things down. And look at all these different ways of doing folds in the elbows, in the pants, different cartoony figures and how they have clothing on them. More cartoon clothing and folds. Just all kinds of good shortcuts here, how to look at things. Then he gets into tight conformity, and this part is different styles and techniques of drawing and handling human figure, cartoon figures, different ways of drawing. A really great book. I didn't recall seeing this until I got into the animation business, and Leonard and Sheldon introduced me to this book. And I looked at the cover and I said, it looks vaguely familiar, but I couldn't remember actually seeing it back home before I got to California. And soon after they showed it to me, I think I went out and got this one pretty quickly. So this edition's from way, way back. At any rate, there are other books out there about drawing human figures, clothed human figures, and these three are just the ones that I recommend right now. And this Loomis book, they just reissued it, so, well, not just, but it's been out for a while, the new editions. My edition's from 19-something, but you can get newer ones. In the meantime, keep drawing and keep having fun. We'll see you next time.